Okay, let's talk about friendships because honestly, I think that they're one of the most complicated parts of adult life that no one will warn you about. We grew up thinking that friendships are supposed to just happen. You meet someone in class, you vibe with them, and suddenly you're inseparable. But then you grow up and realize that, okay, wait, people move, people change, priorities shift in everyone's life, and maintaining friendships actually takes effort. And I feel like no one really talks about how much effort they take. Everyone has advice for relationships and dating, and when it comes to friendships, people just say find your people. Okay, but how and what are my people supposed to look like? So I wanted to make this video for that reason, because friendships in your 20s and your 30s look so different from what they used to. It's not about who you talk to every single day anymore. It's about who makes you feel calm, supported, seen, and who roots for you all the time, and not someone that you were 5 years ago. And this video is for anyone who's struggling to find aligned friendships as you're growing up, wondering why you keep drifting from people, or just trying to figure out how to maintain real, mature friendships without feeling drained. So let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, if you feel like friendships have gotten harder as you've grown up, you're not crazy. It happens to everyone. When you were younger, friendship was about proximity, right? You see people every single day in your school, in your college, in your tuitions, at your job, and connection happens naturally because you're seeing them every single day. But as you get older, it's less about who's around you and more about who's aligned with you. You're not going to see your friends every day as you grow up because priorities change. You're growing, your interests are changing, your values are shifting. You start realizing what's wrong and what's right. And you actually understand that maybe I'm not the person who likes to party all the time, or maybe I'm not the person who likes to gossip all the time, or maybe I do like to party. So you'll understand what kind of circle you really want as you grow. And maybe the group that you currently have gossips a lot, or they go to party a lot, and you're not that person anymore. And you're like, okay, wait, I actually don't want to gossip all day. I don't want to chase people to stay in touch, and I don't want to constantly feel like I'm overgiving. And that realization can feel really lonely at first because it's actually just you stepping into alignment into what you truly want. You stop craving constant company and you start craving quality of people. And you stop chasing attention and start craving emotional safety. And the truth is that not everyone is supposed to grow with you. Maybe they still like partying, but you don't. Some people are meant for certain chapters in your life, not your entire story. So when you start seeing it in that way, you stop taking it so personally when people fade out. It's not rejection, it's just redirection for people you actually want in your life. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about why friendships don't last. And I'm not talking about like big things that happens, betrayal, gossip, okay, someone talking bad about you, that happens. But I'm talking about something small and subtle, like subtle things that slowly build up over time, the things that aren't dramatic enough to cause a fight, but you quietly feel that distance. The first one is mismatched effort, the biggest one. You know that feeling when you're the one always checking in, when you're the one planning the meetups, you're texting first and you keep the friendship alive and they're just responding. At first it's fine because you're like, okay, they're busy, but after a while it starts to feel one-sided, like you're constantly reaching out, and sure, they'll reply, of course they will, they never take the initiative. It starts to feel like a group project where you're the only one doing the work. And the truth is that friendship should not feel like that. It should feel mutual. It's not about keeping score, but it's about energy matching. Sometimes they're 100, sometimes you're 20, that depends, but it's also putting your best forward. You can't keep pouring into something that doesn't pour back to you. Eventually you start feeling emotionally exhausted, and that's usually when the distance starts to creep in. And the second reason is emotional mismatch. Sometimes you're going to be in this phase of life where you crave deeper conversations, or you're like researching about deeper things. You want to talk about growth, spirituality, emotions, healing, purpose, and your friend might not reach there yet. She's still a little immature, she's still growing. They want to keep things light, fun, maybe even surface level, and neither of you are wrong for that. You're just going into different paths. But when your emotional bandwidths don't match each other anymore because you're at this growing stage, that's when the connection feels like it's gonna fade. You find yourself holding back, not sharing things that really matter to you anymore because you're like, they won't understand anyways. And the second that happens, the friendship, I think, stops evolving altogether, because the foundation of connection is vulnerability. It's about talking about things that is important to you, that you're passionate about. If you can't share your real thoughts, it becomes more small talk, and like, you know, it fades, the connection. It becomes more like it's not soul talk anymore. And then the third one is growing, but not growing together. And this one will hurt the most because you might still love that person deeply, you might still care about them, but you're just evolving in, again, completely different directions. Maybe you're on your healing era, you're working on yourself, you're setting boundaries, you're choosing a business, you're starting a business, you're choosing peace, and they're still in their chaos era. Maybe they're still young, or they're just not in the same self-awareness stage as you yet. It happens because some people just naturally like to go towards self-development and some people reach there later. It just means that you're in two different seasons. And the truth is that you can't force someone to grow with you. Yes, you can make them interested in it, but if they're not truly interested in it, they're not going to grow the way you are. You can love them from afar and maybe later reconnect, but you can't shrink yourself to stay aligned with something that you're not anymore. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is just let go quietly without resentment, or just accept that you're not on the same timeline as them anymore. And then the fourth one is the guilt-based friendships, and they're the most draining ones and the most toxic ones, because you constantly feel like you're walking on eggshells. Like if you don't text them back fast enough, they get upset. If you don't hang out for a while, they get upset. If you hang out with other people a lot, they get upset. And suddenly every interaction starts feeling heavy, not because there's drama, but because there's guilt in everything. And the thing is that healthy friendships don't operate from guilt, they operate from understanding. A true friend gives you space to live your life, to rest, to grow, to make your other relationships, because as you grow, you have a lot of other relationships. If someone truly values you, they'll respect your silence as much as they respect your presence. When I started looking at my friendships through this lens, everything felt more understandable, because friendship isn't about how long you've known someone, it's about how they make you feel now. If every time you leave an interaction feeling small, less than them, drained or misunderstood or compared to, especially, that's your cue. It doesn't have to be dramatic breakup. Sometimes it's just quiet acceptance and then cutting them off slowly, that your paths are different now, and that's okay. The friends meant for you will meet you where you are now. They'll match your energy, your growth, your peace, the rest, or at least understand them as you go. The rest of the people, you thank them and then you move forward with love. Okay, now that we've covered what doesn't work, I think let's talk about what does. Like, what should a healthy friendship look like? Because some people don't know, unfortunately. Because I really believe that real friends feel like home. You don't have to explain your energy to them. You don't have to shrink to perform. You can just exist. You can just be in their company. Like, it's just easy. And this is what I've noticed about friendships that actually last. One is that they celebrate you without competing. Such an important one. And I feel like now everyone just competes with each other, even if you're best of friends. If you tell them good news and they're quiet or they're weird about it, or you feel that energy, everyone feels that energy, that's not your real friend. A real friend will get excited for you like it's their win too, because they've seen you grow, they've seen you do this from the start. Number two is they communicate. You can have disagreements and still fix it. You can be honest without walking on eggshells. The worst is when they feel something and they don't communicate with you and they go talking bad behind your back. That is not your friend at all. And number three is that they're kind of consistent in their own way. Not perfect, not 24/7 messaging and available. You shouldn't expect that. But you know that they'll show up when it actually matters. You know, when at 2 a.m. you truly are having a huge breakdown, you can actually call them and they will show up. Even if it's for 30 minutes because they have work the next day, but they will show up. And then number four is that they bring peace into your life. This one's underrated, but you just leave their presence feeling grounded and not over analyzing the entire conversation and looking for different meanings and cues. That's not what you want. So if you ever feel like you have to earn someone's closeness, then that's not friendship, that's more performance. Okay, now let's talk about friendship standards. Very important, because we always talk about them when it comes to relationships, right? We talk about the red flags, the green flags, boundaries, standards, what we like, communication. But when it comes to friends, we kind of just wing it and we don't think about that, but you should. We just go with the flow and we hope it works out, but that's truly not what we want. But that's where most friendship issues come from. Expectations that were never said out loud. You assume they'll do something, they assume you'll do something, and then neither of that happens and it just turns into tension. So here's how I personally started setting friendship standards for myself. First is to know your capacity. Like, seriously, how much energy do you actually have to give to your friendships? Are you someone who loves texting every day, or do you prefer just meeting up once a week for coffee? What does your schedule allow you to? Or are you more of a catch up once a month person and go deep, like talk about deep things kind of person? There's no right or wrong answer, but you just have to know what works for you and what fulfills you in your friendships. For me, I'm not an everyday texting person, but I'm more of a let's voice note when we can, or let's meet best when we can type of a person. It doesn't mean that I care less. I just value depth and quality time over constant communication. And I also love genuinely deep conversations. And second is to understand your friendship love languages. I know we always talk about love languages in a romantic way, but they also matter just as much in friendships. Some people feel loved when you text them, often when you check up on them. Some people feel love when you plan something together. Some people feel love when you say something kind, like you look good today. The key is just to communicate it and say, hey, I don't need daily texts. I just love when we spend intentional time together. Or I love when you check in on me when I feel low or out of nowhere. This sounds small, but it does change everything. You just need to know how that friend feels fulfilled. And then third is to stop trying to make everyone your best friend. Biggest lesson, a huge lesson for everyone who's growing up. You don't need to expect every friend to give you everything. Some friends are meant to just be there for your workout activity. Some friends are meant to be there for emotional support. Some friends are meant to be there for when you want to party. Some friends for motivation. Whatever it is, everyone is different. You cannot have that one friend who gives you all of this. You cannot expect that one friend to go to every party with you, to be emotional with you, to understand everything with you, to read with you, to do Pilates with you, everything. Whatever it is, you cannot expect that one friend to do everything for you. That's not realistic. You can have different friends for different things. Your gym buddy, your work bestie, your movie night friend, your healing era friend. That's the beauty of it, right? And that's completely okay. Stop expecting soul connections deep from people who are meant to just bring lightness or fun into your life, and then same vice versa. And lastly, I would say just update your friendship standards as you grow. You're not the same person that you were 2 years ago, and neither are your friends, neither are people you're meeting. So it's normal for your boundaries, your needs, and your definitions of friendship to evolve too. As you level up in your life, your circle naturally gets smaller. This is something you hear everyone say, and it's true. Not because you're becoming cold or distant, but because you're becoming more aligned with who you are, and then attracting few people aligned to that. The people that are meant to be in your life will meet you there at your new standard, at your current standard, not at your past level, in your new season. And the ones who don't, you can still love them just from a distance and respect where they're going with their journey. Making new friends as an adult can be weirdly complicated. It's like everyone already has a little circle, their routines, their 4 or 5 friends, their people, and you're just standing there thinking, where do I even start? Like, how do I become their best friend? But the truth is, it's not as impossible as it feels. We just overthink it way too much. Like, all humans are just looking for a deep connection somewhere down the line with either friends, relationships, family, whoever. Just a deep connection. So here's what has worked for me in finding new friends, and what you can do is, number 1, put yourself in places that match your energy. You cannot make like-minded people sitting at home wondering where they are. If you're into fitness, join a gym class. If you're into dance, go for dance or a community run. If you're into self-growth, go to a journaling event or a mindset workshop. There's so many happening around. If you love coffee and good conversation, go to a coffee morning or a matcha morning. You'll naturally see same faces if you go to a cafe every morning. You can go and initiate conversations. You meet aligned people when you start doing things that reflect who you are becoming, not who you used to be. And the number 2 is, don't wait for people to approach you all the time. Be the one also who reaches out. I swear so many people are dying for connection, but they're just too scared to look eager or creepy. It's okay. Be bold. Send that message. Say, hey, you look really cool. I would love to actually get to know you more. I really liked our conversation the other day. Do you want to grab coffee sometimes? It's not weird. It's confident. And if they do, great, maybe you have the start of something. If they don't, who cares? Half of the people you think are too busy or too cool are literally sitting there wishing someone asked them that and wishing for a deeper connection. So maybe they'll reach out as well. And then number 3 is to just take it slow. Real friendships don't need to be trauma bonded in week 1. Let it flow. Hang out a few times, talk, laugh, get to know each other's vibe, get to know what type of friend they could be for you. You know, what type of things they like. You'll notice that the best friendships don't rush, they just build. You probably don't even remember how you met your current best friend because you don't remember. It wasn't forced. Because real connection isn't about instant chemistry, it's about consistent energy. And then with that, lastly, be okay with outgrowing people. This one is tough but necessary. Sometimes the most peaceful thing you can do is stop forcing connections that don't feel right anymore. You can love someone deeply and still realize that they don't fit into the current version of your life. That doesn't make you fake or heartless. It just means you're evolving. You're not supposed to stay stuck in friendships that drain you just because of history. If your peace isn't in the space anymore, it's okay to walk out quietly. It's okay. Because at the end of the day, friendships, like every other relationships, are supposed to add to your life and not take away from it. When you start protecting your peace and showing up authentically, the right people will find you and they'll stay. So now that you've kind of understood all of this, what you want in your friendships, what you don't want, what healthy effort looks like, and how to meet people who actually align with your energy, I want to leave you with something practical as well. A little homework, or think of it like a friendship playbook check-in challenge, because awareness means absolutely nothing if you don't take action after the video. If you listen to what I say and don't take any action, it's gonna mean nothing. Okay, so exercise number 1 is reflect on what friendship means to you right now, in this very second. Not when you were in school, not when you were in university. I want you to be a nobody and think, what does friendship mean to you right now in this season of your life? Because when you're younger, friendship is about constant access. You want to be with your best friend 24/7. You're texting them 24/7 every hour, hanging out. If they don't tell you anything, you get mad. You had the time to do all of that. You didn't have bills, you don't have responsibilities or 5 a.m. alarms. But as you grow, your world starts to expand. You have relationships, family, maybe you're building a family with someone, your goals, your relationship, your career, all of that comes in. That's not there when you're in school. And suddenly friendship does look different. So sit down and ask yourself, what does a healthy friendship look like to me now, whatever age you're at? How much energy can I realistically give to my friendships? Like, can I meet them every week? Is that even possible right now? Or can I not have friends right now because I really need to grow my business? And what do I need from the people around me to feel supportive? So write that down, because clarity creates alignment. You can't be unclear about what you want to give anyone what they want. And then exercise number 2 is do a friendship audit. This one is powerful. I want you to take a pen and paper or open your notes app and first write down the names of people that you spend most time with, who are your current friends. Then ask yourself 3 questions for each one. Do I feel safe being my real self with this person? And then write a yes or a no near them. It's for you, no one cares. And then number 2 is, do I leave conversations with them feeling drained or inspired? Write a yes or no again around their names. And then 3rd is, are they genuinely happy when I win? Or does it make them uncomfortable? Because as you get older, you'll realize that not everyone's clapping for you. Some people are in your life for convenience or connection, or because it benefits them. And that happens when you're growing older. And that doesn't just make them evil, but it does mean that you just stop giving them full access energy to half invested people in your life. Maybe they're with you because they want to enter the job market that you're in. Maybe they're with you for another reason. Whatever it is, don't give them your all then. Like, don't tell them everything. And then exercise number 3 is the cutest one. Reconnect with the ones who feel real to you. After that audit, I want you to reach out to 1 or 2 people or 3 people who truly matter, who you've said yes for, the ones who bring you peace, who make you feel lighter, who see you. Send them a message, plan a catch up, or even just tell them that, hey, I really value our friendship. I'm sorry I wasn't active. I just value us. Because nurturing the right friendships is just as important as letting go of the wrong ones. And that just brings us to the end of this video. If you're still here, I hope it reminded you that friendships aren't supposed to feel complicated or draining. They're supposed to feel like peace, like growth, like support. You don't need a huge circle. That's the biggest myth. Just a few real ones who feel like home. So do the reflection, do your little friendship audit, and start being more intentional with who gets access to you, because the more you choose peace, the more aligned people you'll attract. And I love you guys. Welcome to your soft, aligned friendship era, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, go out, explore, make friends, and just have fun with life.